is lesson 3 of my Pilates beginner course. Hope you're managing okay with 1 and 2. Remember, repeat 1 or 2 if you need to, because we're going to keep adding a little bit more each time to make it a little bit more varied as well as a little bit more challenging and to work different parts of the body. So adding quite a bit more today, but try it. If you think, no, it's too much, go back to 1 or go back to 2. Do those for 3 or 4 sessions and then come back to this one. So we're going to just go through the setup very briefly today. Hopefully it's becoming a little bit more normal for you. So feet hip width distance apart, knees soft, and stand tall. Wiggle the fingers and toes. And a couple of shoulder shrugs just to take your shoulders back and down. Bringing your pelvis into neutral. A few pelvic tilts if you need to. Otherwise, find neutral. Hip bones, pubic bone should be in line. Spine has its natural curve. So to hold that position, engage those tummy muscles. So pulling them in as tight as you can. Release them halfway and then just a little bit more. So finding that 30% position. Engage your pelvic floor and a couple of breaths just to remind you to breathe into the ribs. Using the hands if you need to. It doesn't hurt to practice these setup moves properly every time you do it, no matter how experienced you become or how advanced you become, because it's always nice just to recheck on all these points. So just taking a few seconds to stand tall, allowing your spine to lengthen and your shoulders to relax. Okay, gently turning the head from side to side, moving smoothly and slowly. And back to the center, dropping your chin to the chest, drawing it back up, down again, and back up, moving into the shoulders, so rolling them forward, both together, and changing direction. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Nice big circles. Adding the arms, breathing in and out. So deep breaths, keeping the shoulders down, moving within your comfort range. Try and keep the body still, change direction. So as you circle the arms, just be aware that you're not tilting your pelvis forward or arching your spine. Keep it still. One more. And out. Into side bends. So one hand down the leg and back up. Repeat to the other side. Tilting your head gently towards the shoulder to encourage the movement into your spine. Still keeping the weight even through both feet. Once more. And back to the center. Arms out to the side and twist. Breathing out as you twist, in as you straighten. Nice and slowly. Again, try not to move from the knees or the ankles. Let it all come from your waist. Last 2. Last 1. Coming back to the center, hands to the hips. We're going to do a slightly different warm-up exercise for your legs today. We're going to incorporate a little bit of balancing. If you need something to hang on to, use the chair, mantelpiece, workbench in the kitchen, whatever's near to hand, or just the wall. So concentrate, focus ahead, lifting one knee up in front if you can, extend the leg out, bend your knee, replace the foot to the floor, and change. Can make you a little bit wobbly. If you're very wobbly, keep your foot low to the floor. But your focus really, once you get your balance, is trying to keep your pelvis as level and as still as you can. Bend and replace. The higher you lift the knee, the more challenging it is. But if you come up that little bit higher and think, oh no, I don't like that, either hang on to something or go back to just low movements, keeping the foot low to the mat. Once more. And then relax it down. Good. Give your legs a bit of a shake. Okay, bring your feet back to hip width distance. Knees soft. We're just going to finish off the warm up with some heel raises. So breathing in, lift your heels, breathe out, lower. Keeping your toes firmly on the mat, concentrate on your ankles, keeping them under control. Breathe in as you lift, breathe out as you lower. Remember, they don't have to be massive, they don't need to be as high as mine. Let's speed it up a little bit. So come up and then bounce, up and down, gently, through the feet. Trying to keep the ankles and legs under control. It should start to burn quite quickly up the backs of your legs. Oh, mine's just starting to burn. Don't hit the floor with the heels. Try and bounce through the balls of the feet. So working all those little joints. And then relax. Oh, burny, burny. Give the legs a bit of a shake. So moving into your roll downs. Feet hip width distance. Knees soft. Tummy in. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Drop your chin to the chest and slowly bend. Take your time. Let your head hang. Let your arms relax and hang. And just go as far as you can. Breathe in, long breath out. Use your tummy. Draw yourself slowly back up to standing. Relaxing the shoulders, lifting the chin and down into the next one. Take your time. Enjoy it. It's lovely. Keep the knees slightly bent. If your back's a bit tight today, remember, bend your knees, especially on the way up. Use these tummy muscles. Pull in gently as you restack your spine. Relax the shoulders, lift the chin and repeat. Long breath out to go down. Breathe in, long breath out to slowly come back up. Relaxing the shoulders, lifting your head. Last one, this time adding your hamstring. Stretch. Find the point that's comfortable to hold. Stay there, straighten both legs, and then just relax into that stretch. Letting the head hang, let your arms relax and hang, and breathe. Nice deep breaths. Coming down onto the mat, bend your knees, walk the hands forward. So coming into tabletop position. So the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We're going to revisit your swimming in tabletop position, adding a little bit extra to it today. So tummy in, breathe in. As you breathe out, slide, lift, leg and opposite arm, breathe in, replace, and change. Just going to move forward, I'm hitting the sofa, and again. Keep the chin tucked in, focus on your balance. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. Now we're going to add a little bit more to this. Just lifting opposite arm and leg works your lower back, strengthens the muscles in your back. We're going to add a little bit to work your glutes. This is a little bit of pulsing. So take one leg back, flex the foot, keep both hands on the floor, keep your body steady and pulse, short, sharp, little movements up and down with that leg. Aim for about 20, which does sound a lot, but it's not really. You get through them quite quickly. And down, and change. Flex the foot and pulse. Short, sharp little movements. Try and pulse from the hip joint. And then relax it down. Change legs again. This time lift the leg, bend your knee, flex the foot, and again pulse. Working from the hip. Tiny, tiny movements. Remember, we don't want massive movements. Want to get deep into the glutes. And replace it down. Other leg, take it back. Bend your knee, flex the foot, and pulse. Try and get the rest of the body as still as possible. Concentrating the movement, the leg within your hip. And then bring it down. Rest into child pose. Hips to the heels, head down. Remember, more important to get the hips down rather than head on the floor. If you can get both down now, go for it. It's a lovely stretch. Okay, coming forward onto your front, lower yourself down onto your tummy. We're going to do what's called a dart today. So pop your arms down by your sides, forehead on the floor, chin tucked in. Still bringing the legs tight together. This is progression from diamond press. Tummy in, draw the navel up to your spine, squeeze your bum, squeeze your legs. Hands against your thighs. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the chest, head, shoulders and hands. Hold, breathe in, breathe out low. Very important to keep your chin tucked in. Repeat. Keep squeezing. Hold, breathe in, breathe out lower. Try and breathe into the ribs, makes it more manageable. One more. Now we're going to add a side bend to this. So this is exactly like the side bend you did in your warm-up, just that you're lying on the floor. So it does feel slightly different. The main bit is to try and concentrate on keeping your hip bones pressing down into the mat so you don't roll, you just bend. Looks a bit like this. Watch first and then have a go. So legs together, breathe in, breathe out, lift, hold, keep squeezing. Breathe out, slide one hand down the side of the leg. Breathe in, straighten, repeat. And down. So lift, hold, breathe in, breathe out, side bend. Breathe in, straighten, repeat. And lower down. So if you focus on the hands on the side seams of your pants, then you'll feel that your body is side bending. Try not to roll. Use the head, tilting the head towards the shoulder. Let's do it 2 more times. So lift, hold, breathe in, breathe out, side bend, breathe in, straighten, side bend, straighten, and breathe out. One more time. And lower down. Okay, slip the hands underneath your forehead. Have a breathe out. Well done. If you need to have a stretch, please do. You could do a cat stretch or child pose. Or you just could concentrate on having a little rest and then move into the next exercise. So we're going to do prone leg raises next. Again, adding a progression. So feet hip width distance. Squeeze your buttocks, pressing your hips into the mat. Head down. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one leg. Breathe in lower and change. Keep alternating left and right, just for the first 2 or 3 times. To make it harder, lift both legs together. Remember, hands under the hips if you're struggling a little bit in your lower back. Use your bum though, squeeze your buttocks, use your tummy. Now to add a little bit more to it, turn the feet out. So you're opening up the front of your hips, squeeze your bum. Breathe in, breathe out, keep the legs in, turn out and lift both legs. Breathe in lower. If you want to do singles in turn out, you can. So if you're not happy with both legs, stay and turn out, just do one leg and then change legs. You can flex the feet or point the toes, I don't mind. But again, watch you're not rocking your pelvis forward as you lift the legs. So using your tummy, pull in firmly and squeeze your bum. You have no option really if you're doing it right. You have to squeeze your buttocks. 2 more. And last one. And rest. Oh, I can really feel that after doing those pulses. Release your back. So up onto hands and knees and into cat stretch. So arching the spine. Take it back the other way. Arching again. And once more. And then rest. Lovely. Now come into a sitting position. We're going to do a new exercise today. This is the half roll up. It leads ultimately into full roll-ups. Can take you a long time to get up to a full roll-up. Don't rush it. It took me at least 4 years before I could do it properly. So don't rush into it. You actually do use your abs more if you concentrate on the half roll-up. And if you never get to full roll-up, it really doesn't matter. But the important bit is that you're working your core. So sit with your legs bent, sit up nice and tall, hooking the hands into the backs of your knees. Shoulders above your hips. Breathe in, tilt the pelvis. Spine will form a C shape. Breathe out, roll back until you extend your arms. It's almost like you're sitting back in an old-fashioned deck chair. Try and keep that C curl. Breathe in, breathe out, bring your shoulders forward and then sit up straight. So remember the pelvic tilt we did in the shoulder bridges in lesson 1 and 2, it's the same thing. So you tilt the pelvis, you form that C shape, roll back. Look straight ahead, try not to look down towards your navel and relax your shoulders. Breathe out as you come forward and restack your spine. And again, tilt, roll back, just till you extend your arms. Breathe in, breathe out, round forward and sit up straight. If you want to, you could take your hands away. If you think, oh no, don't like that, slip them back underneath your thighs. But use your tummy. Restack your spine at the end. So it's all about mobilizing the spine as well as working your abdominals. Shoulders relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out, round forward and sit up straight. Let's go for one more, whichever one you're doing. Breathe in and breathe out, round forward and sit up straight. To release, just extend your legs out, sit up tall, arms out in front, lift up out to the hips and reach forward into a spine stretch. Just let your feet relax at this point and come out of it gently. And again, lift up and stretch forward. Reach your hands over your feet and come out of it gently. You should feel a lovely stretch in here. One more time. Lift up and stretch forward. And come out of it gently. Well done. Bending your knees, lower yourself all the way to the floor. Coming into your base position, so shoulders back and down. Make sure you're neutral. Trouble with roll-ups, you tend to lose your britches a little bit, so you might need to readjust. Feet hip width distance, shoulders back and down. So checking you're in neutral, little hollow in the small of your back, pelvis level. A couple of deep breaths, just to remind you to breathe into the ribs. And once in this position, just let your head gently roll from side to side, just in case it's starting to feel a little bit tense or tight. So going into the 100, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, float one leg up into tabletop, hold, press the ribs down, use your tummy, knock the lower back, lift the other leg up beside it, and hold for 10 long, slow breaths. Counting to 5 as you breathe in, and 5 as you breathe out. So in and out. Try and focus it into the rib cage, using your hands if you need to. Halfway, if getting a little shaky, put one foot down. And again. One more breath. And come down gently. If you find you were a little bit longer than me, that's fine. If you finish quicker than I did, that's also fine. The more you do it, the longer you'll find it takes, because you become stronger, you can hold that position longer. If you do feel pain in your back at any point, stop, because it just means you've let go of your tummy muscles. If you're still just doing 2 or 3 breaths, that's absolutely fine. Build up to it gradually. Stretch out to release after that, full body stretch. Oh, that's good. And then relax. Rolling onto your side, we're going to revisit your side kick. So coming up onto the hip, stacking the joints, using your arm as a pillow. You can fold the arm to cradle the head if you prefer. Arm out in front, head on a block if you have problems with your shoulders. Make sure you can see your toes. Engage your tummy, pelvic floor, breathe in as you breathe out, squeeze your legs together and lift both legs off the floor. If you still feel you need to lift one leg and then the other, please do. Hold and breathe. So we're going to try and add a little bit of leg movement to it today. Try and keep the bottom leg still. Breathe in. As you breathe out, float the top leg forward. Breathe in, bring it back, and then take it behind. And return. Keep that movement going. Now don't try and make it too big, but try and make it equal distance in front and behind. So if you can bring it 3 foot in front without wobbling, it needs to be 3 foot behind. That's a bit exaggerated though, it's very unlikely. Really concentrate on small movements, so you're best thinking more like 3 inches or 9 centimeters in front and behind. Aim for about 10 times forward and back if you can. You could obviously make that a little bit more challenging by taking your arm to your thigh and floating it up over your head and lengthen and stretch. That is so much harder to move the leg and keep your balance. I've lost count concentrating on balancing. We must be nearly to 10. Come down gently. Bring your arm back, lower the legs down and relax. Ooh, well done, good try. Obviously, if you found that was too hard to take the arm away, keep the hand on the floor as long as you need to. If you're very slim, you'll find it much harder to balance and move the leg than if you've got a little bit of padding, like some of us. That does tend to give you a little bit of help. A quad stretch to release. And then relax. Excellent. Going back onto your back. I'm going to introduce another new exercise today. We're going to do what we call double leg stretch. However, at this level, we only concentrate on the arm movement of double leg stretch. The more will come in time. So from your base position, keeping yourself as still as possible, checking you're in neutral, float both arms up in front. Palms facing in, hands shoulder width distance apart. So the movement for double leg stretch with your arms is basically arm circles. So float both arms over your head, circle out to the side, round to your hips and back up in front. Keep the back of the head on the floor, shoulders down. Work within your comfort range. So if you do have problems with either shoulder, don't try and make the circle too big. Work within your comfort range. We don't want to push through pain, we work around the pain. The more you do this, the easier it becomes as the mobility comes back into your shoulders. Change in direction. Float them round. You can do this with your breath if you want to, but I find that tends to make people do it a little bit too quickly. So concentrate on moving your arms slowly and breathe normally. However, if you want to do it with the breath, you breathe out as you circle the arms away from the body. Breathe in as you bring them over the top. And back up in front. And then bring your hands back down by your sides. It's surprisingly a nice little exercise. We will build on that in time. We can do that with hand weights or lying on a half roller or even a ball, but that will come in time. Let's do your side kick now on the other side. Obviously, I would normally encourage you to roll over so that you're flowing from one position to the other, but I'm going to swap ends of the mat so that you can see and I can see the camera. So up onto the hip, stretch your legs out, hand on the floor in front. Check that you can see your feet, gauge your tummy. Breathe in as you breathe out, squeeze your legs together and lift both legs off the floor and hold. Feet are going to be slightly apart because we're going to move the top leg forward and back. Breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, float the leg forward. Breathe in, bring it back, take it behind. Remember, equal distance in front and behind, but try not to let the bottom leg join in. I can feel on this side that my right leg, the bottom leg, is wanting to go in the opposite direction to the top leg. Try and keep it still and lifted. If you think you can and you like a challenge, bring your hand to your thigh and float it up over your head. Continue with the leg movement. Keep pulling your tummy in. Use your pelvic floor to help you with your balance. I think that's number 8. Lengthen and stretch through that arm to help you with your balance. And open up the waist. And slowly come down. And rest. Oh, that's tough. Well done. Give it a rub if necessary. And finish with your quad stretch. And release. Excellent. Push yourself up into a sitting position. We've got another new little exercise for you today. This is called a spine twist. Spine twist is a brilliant exercise for posture, helps strengthen your upper back, stops you ending up round-shouldered as it strengthens the muscles each side of your spine as you rotate. Ideally, you need to sit cross-legged, but that's not suitable for everybody, so you might want to sit with the soles of the feet together, knees out, having plenty of space between the heels and your hips, or you can sit with your legs fully extended. If you struggle to sit on the floor, you could sit on the edge of a stool or a chair. I'm going to do it this way because I think this is the most comfortable position. The important bit is that you sit right up on your sit bones and keep your back straight. So you're aiming to get your shoulders above your hips. I'm going to do it slightly twisted to the side so that you can see that my back is straight. Pop your hands together and then just rest your thumbs on your breastbone and bring your middle 2 fingers up underneath your chin to rest your chin on your fingers. Now bring the hands to your chin, not your chin to your hands. Shoulders down, lift the chest, engage your core muscles. Breathe in. As you breathe out, twist to one side. You're aiming your nose to your knee, no further. Breathe in, come back to the center. Repeat to the other side. Breathe out, twist. Breathe in. And again. Keeping the shoulders immediately above your hips. I know I have a bad habit of wanting to lean forward when I do this, so concentrate on keeping your weight going down into your sit bones. Keep lifting up out of the hips. If you find this really tough, a good way to do it is to sit against the door frame so that you can feel that you're keeping your spine straight as you twist. Okay, last two. Last one. And back to the center and rest. Mermaid stretch is your release stretch, which is to have the hands either side of the hips, float one arm up and over, bending the supporting arm and stretch. So you're trying to open up this part of the body. And release and repeat to the other side. And release. Excellent. Let's turn the legs along the mat and lower yourself back down to the floor. So just bend your knees, lower yourself down gently, making sure you've got plenty of room on your mat, as we're going to do single leg stretch again before we finish with your bridges. So feet hip width distance apart, shoulders back and down. Again, make sure you're in neutral. Remember, with single leg stretch, this is to challenge your coordination as well as your core strength. Keep your pelvis still. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one foot, extend the leg, float the opposite arm over your head. Breathe in, bring them back together. Take your time, move as you breathe. So in an ideal world, this would be great to do with a mirror on the ceiling so that you can see exactly where your foot placement is, where your arms are going. Mirror to the side will help to see whether you're arching your spine. So use those abdominals, gently press your ribs into the mat. Imagine you've got a glass of wine on each hip to keep your pelvis still. If you concentrate on how it feels against the floor, you should feel your ribs and your sacrum connecting with the mat. As you swap the weight from one side to the other, try not to feel them lift or wobble. It's all about that control in the center. Use these lower abdominals to help. Okay, last one. And then relax. Now, just bring your feet in a little bit closer, hip width distance apart. We're going to go straight into your shoulder bridge. So palms down, breathe in, tilt pelvis, flattening the lower back into the mat. Squeeze your bum and peel the spine slowly off the floor as you come up into bridge. Hold, breathe in, take both arms over your head. Leaving your arms there, breathe out and roll your spine down slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Press your lower back into the mat. Roll your pelvis back to neutral. And bring both arms back at the end. And repeat. So tilt, squeeze, lift up. Hold. Press your hips to the ceiling. Breathe in. Take both arms over your head. Keep them there. Breathe out. Lay the spine down slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Pressing your lower back into the mat. Rolling your pelvis back to neutral. And then bring your arms back. Into the next one. Tilt, squeeze, lift up. Hold. Arms up and over. And roll back down slowly. Let's add a little progression. This is entirely optional. Watch out for the cramp. So this time, as you come up into bridge, hold. Take the arms up and over. Lift your heels. Keep your heels lifted and roll your spine down slowly. Pressing your lower back into the mat. Rolling your pelvis back to neutral. Heels down as you bring your arms down. And repeat. It's lovely. Just getting that extra height by lifting your heels means you get more movement into your spine. You've got more room to be able to mobilize the spine and press your lower back into the mat, opening up the space there. Oh, it's fab. Roll back to neutral, heels down as you bring your arms back. Last one, but keep going if you're enjoying it. I love these. Not everybody's favorite exercise, I might add, but I really feel the benefit. It's a suitable exercise for any spinal condition. If you have a slight kyphosis, lordosis or scoliosis, which are all twists and movements in the spine, putting it into a different shape, it's fab for them all. Hip flexor stretch to release, draw one knee into the chest, slide the other leg out and hold. And change legs. And relax. Inner thigh stretch, so soles the feet together, knees out. Relax into the stretch. Bringing your knees back together, outer thigh stretch. So right foot onto the left knee. Remember, you can push the knee away or thread both hands through and pull the left leg towards you. And hold. And change legs. So again, easy option, press the knee out with your hand or both hands behind your right thigh and gently pull. And then relax, bringing both feet to the floor, take your feet a little bit wider, hands to the hips and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and with a long, slow breath out, relax and sink down into the floor. So relax your fingers and toes. Relax your calves, your thighs, and let your hips sink down into the floor. Relaxing your arms and let go of your shoulders. Let your head gently roll a couple of times to each side. Check you're not frowning or gritting your teeth. So relaxing the jaw. And with a big sigh, as you breathe out, relax and let go a little bit more. You can lie here as long as you like. Just enjoy those few minutes of relaxation, letting your body settle after all the exercises. When you're ready to move, wiggle the fingers and toes. Roll onto your side and push yourself up into a sitting position. Sit still for a minute or two if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded. Drink plenty of water now that you've finished. I hope you've enjoyed lesson number 3. A little bit harder today, a few more challenging exercises. Remember, do what you can. There were still some modifications in there. If you still need to do them, that's perfectly fine. If you think that was too much, repeat lesson 2 a few more times, then come back to lesson 3. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Feel so much better for that. Look forward to seeing you again for lesson number 4. Bye everyone.